The fastest way to kill your big dream is to share it with a small-minded person who lacks vision. Stop expecting other people to see what was made for you. Only you need to believe in your dreams in order to manifest it. So stop looking for outside validation before taking the first step towards chasing your dreams. Thinking you need outside support is how you stay stuck in the same exact spot for a lifetime. Greetings and welcome back to another stupendous episode of the Renaissance First podcast, where we aspire to inspire until we expire. You're tuning in to part 2 of the Delayed Gratification Mini-Series. I'm your host, Juda X, and today we'll be exploring why waiting for outside validation can cost you the bright future that you always dreamed about. In part 1, we introduced the bamboo principle, exploring the 2 pillars, delayed gratification. So if you missed that episode, definitely do go back and check it out, because everything that we're building in part 2 sits on that foundation. Have you ever heard the phrase, if you live for the cheers, you die by the booze? Essentially what that means is that you'll never ever truly be living for yourself, because you'll always be at the mercy of the crowd, trying to appease everyone and disappointing yourself. Every time you say yes to the crowd, you say no to yourself. One of the worst life experiences that you can ever have is to arrive at the destination only to realize it was never meant for you in the first place. All that time, effort and commitment went into building the dream of someone else. So I remember during summer 2020, I was a product finance intern at Goldman Sachs, but I wanted to be in the internal audit division. So I figured the best approach would be to talk to some senior people so I could get some guidance on exactly what I should do. So the first group that I spoke to told me you should keep that information to yourself because it's going to signal to the team that you don't want to be in this division. The second group told me that I should continue the internship, get a return offer for another summer internship, and then get a full-time offer and then apply for internal mobility. Now I thought about it and I said to myself, that's a 2-year process. Why would I spend 2 years waiting to pivot into another division? Just didn't make sense to me, right? So I connected with a few people in internal audit and they told me, man, you should definitely apply for an internship. So I did, and I was fortunate enough to get an internship. That internship led to me landing a full-time job before I even graduated from school. As a matter of fact, I was able to work part-time for 11 months from St. Kitts while I finished my degree. So, moral of the story is, you could receive really great advice, but it just might not be applicable to you. Not because something is not done frequently or hasn't been done before means that it can't be done. You just might be the exception to the rule. The reality is, most people won't even know what it looks like when things are working for you because they don't have a reference point. Asking someone to validate your vision who doesn't have a reference point is like me taking my prescription glasses, giving them to you, and expecting you to be able to see the letters on the board. It just doesn't make sense. Why would you take advice from someone living a life that you don't want? You wouldn't ask your mechanic for advice on taxes. So it makes little sense to ask someone for feedback who has no expertise and does not have a stake in your successful outcome. Someone's inability to see your value doesn't mean it's not there. People can't see your potential. They can only see what you've produced up until this point. Sometimes they're just projecting their subconscious shortcomings and limitations onto you because they don't believe in themselves. Whether or not it's intentional is irrelevant because the impact is the same. Not because it's challenging or someone else perceives it to be impossible means it can't be done by you. Different strokes for different folks. Oftentimes the people doubting you have a ceiling that they've accepted and they unconsciously project that onto other people. People doubting you is never a problem. It's only a problem when you start to believe it. Think about the laundry list of things that you thought you couldn't do that you were able to accomplish. Everything that you know today, you had to learn, which means you have the capacity to learn anything. It's a scientific term known as neuroplasticity, where the brain can be reshaped to perform new tasks. So never let a third party talk you out of taking that leap of faith, because people do impossible things every day. So why not you? I remember starting my fitness journey and everyone talking about how challenging it is to get a six-pack. And it is very, very challenging. I'm not gonna lie. But I set my intention to lose the weight and get lean. I cut out sweets, fast food, alcohol and started intermittent fasting with the sole purpose of proving to myself that I could do it. Because it's less about them and more about me reinforcing that belief in myself. In 2022, I weighed about 220 pounds, but I was able to lose the weight, got the six-pack, came down to about 180 pounds, and I'm still around that weight today. Past experiences do not dictate future outcomes. Sometimes you need to fail to build up the resilience and consistency that you need to keep it going when things actually start to work. Remember, the most important component to the advancement of your life is you. That's all you need. So it's important that you be wary on where you seek validation on your goals, ideas, and aspirations, because the wrong feedback can cause you to miss out on your purpose. The vision is yours. Stop asking other people to see it before you believe in it. Because here's the harsh reality. When things actually start to work, some of them same people are gonna tell you, I know you could do it. I believed in you from the beginning. Your belief in yourself is all you need. Any additional support is gravy on the rice. It's a nice to have, it's not a necessity because it's not the main course. Like I said in part 1, the Chinese bamboo tree underscores the importance of consistent positive action. The more you do, the more opportunities you create for you to get better and for things to happen faster. It's the compound interest of good habits. 90 feet of manifestation in 5 weeks that came from 5 years of consistent effort. You have to water and fertilize both yourself and your goals on a consistent basis. Rain, snow, or shine, doesn't matter. You have to ensure that every day counts, even if it's in a small way, because the consistency pays way more dividends than the actual volume of the action. Do you think the Chinese bamboo tree would ask the grass for permission to grow? No. It's nonsensical because the grass doesn't have a reference point. So stop concerning yourself with unqualified opinions. Wouldn't ask your dentist for financial advice. So stop asking doubters for support and just focus on executing. The most important takeaway from the Chinese bamboo tree illustration is that nothing magnificent is built overnight. It takes time, effort, and consistency. But every day you water it, every intentional action, every day you decide to continue going, even when you don't see results, is you demonstrating faith and building your resiliency and consistency muscle. These things are imperative for you to build a solid foundation. Building the foundation is the most time-consuming process, but it's worth all the effort. Trust me. The people that get to the heights that we aspire to reach, they don't complain about not getting the support. They don't campaign to get that support. They focus all their time, energy, and effort in performing the actions that will create the opportunities to get them to the promised land. Because complaining never solve a problem for me yet. Your 5 years could start today. The decision is yours, because 5 years is gonna pass regardless of whether you do anything or not. So you might as well do something worthwhile so the time can count for something and you can look back and be proud at the distance that you traveled. The vision was made for you. If God wanted other people to see it, He would have given it to them. So stop asking other people to see the vision. Just continue working. Like I said earlier, the most important ingredient for the advancement of your life is you. So believe it, bet on yourself, and everything else will flow. So the next time you feel the urge to seek outside validation, remember the brilliant words of the American psychologist and philosopher William James. The mental attitude of an individual at the beginning of a difficult task, more than anything else, largely determines its successful outcome. And in the words of the great Napoleon Hill, anything the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. The vision is for you. So steady course, because you have to make sure that you build that strong foundation and root system so you can get that 90 feet of vertical growth. So we're now at the end of the episode and we have 4 key takeaways that I want you to remember. Number 1, you don't need a cosign from anyone else but yourself. The vision was made for you and only you have to believe in order for you to manifest your dreams. So stop expecting other people to see it and focus on executing. Number 2, you could get really great advice, but it just might not be applicable to you. The Goldman Sachs story was a perfect illustration of that. Conventional advice is not wrong, it just might not fit you because you just might be the exception to the rule. Number 3, people doubting your ability Sometimes it's them projecting the ceiling that they've accepted for themselves and they don't believe that they could do it, so they automatically assume that you won't be able to do it as well. But remember, people doubting your ability is never a problem. It's only a problem when you start to believe it. Past experiences do not dictate future outcomes. And number 4, the Chinese bamboo tree would not ask the grass for permission to grow. So stop concerning yourself with unqualified opinions and focus on doing the actions that will get you to the promised land. Your 5 years could start today. It's entirely up to you. So this is a new thing that I'm implementing at the end of every episode where I'm going to have some instant call to actions. So I have a list of things that I'm going to recommend that you try out and see what works best for you. Number 1, write down a goal or aspiration that you've been sitting on for a while, waiting for someone else's approval or waiting to get some sort of support. Identify the first action and do that before this week is out. Number 2, audit your inner circle and all the people that you've been sharing your goals and aspirations with, and think about whether or not they are qualified to give an opinion. If you identify that they're not qualified, see if you can seek out someone with the experience who's walked the road so you could get better feedback that could translate to helping you get to where you want to go. And number 3, pick a 30-day watering commitment. So pick one goal or aspiration, identify the steps that you need to take, and for the next 30 days, execute one step every day, regardless of how small it is. Even if it's reading and you only read one page, it's all about the consistency of the action. Comment below, let me know what you decided to do, and I'll let you know what my commitment was, and we could keep each other accountable. So if you found anything useful in this episode, definitely do like, subscribe, and share. Tell your mother, tell your father, tell your sister, tell your cousin, tell your brother, tell everybody. Have them come and join the Renaissance family, and we can self-actualize the best versions of ourselves together. I'll see you on part 3. How self-limiting beliefs could prevent you from reaching your maximum potential. Until next time, man, continue elevating. We're out of here.